What's good, people? Happy Friday. It's finally here. It's Friday, and you're here with the big guy right now, so that can only mean one thing.
Burger time!
Big! Welcome to the show, fellow foodies. So every Friday I'll get on and I'll talk about recipes, food videos that I found around the net. I'll give my personal opinions and reactions to these videos, so just be on the lookout for the notifications. So in today's episode, I've landed on a video by a guy named George Motz. Today he's going to be talking about hamburgers. Now, as a hamburger expert, I definitely know a thing or two about hamburgers. So what we're going to do is watch George talk about his version of a particular hamburger. And by the way, George is the creator of the Burger Scholar Sessions. So if you're interested, take a look at a link to his videos. I'll link it in my description. So we'll take a look and see what George is talking about and give some opinions on it. So let's get into it. Okay. Before we even begin here, I got to call this out. He's got the cap going on. He's got the sweater. He's got the jeans on. I'm calling a foul right here at the beginning because this look is definitely not something I would associate with good hamburger. So hopefully he recovers this as the video goes on, but we'll see. Oh boy.
Nothing can replace the time-honored tradition of cooking outside on a flame grill.
Let me stop it here. I completely agree. Nothing compares to cooking burgers over charcoal. There's absolutely nothing. Some people are fans of gas. You know, I'm a charcoal guy. I'm an old school charcoal guy. So I'm not so much a gas fan, but we'll get into that again at a future date. But yeah, George, you got me on that, George. I'm totally in agreement.
We're going to make a regional favorite of mine, the Sheboygan Bratburger.
Oh, now look at that. He's got several things happening here, so I assume the bottom is burger. What is that on the second level? Did he say a brat? So he's got the pickles and the onions. I like that. I like that bun. What kind of bun is that? We'll have to get and see what he's talking about here, but I'm liking that. Is that butter or mayo? Like technically they're kind of the same thing, but that's a lot of butter on that burger. We'll see.
One of the greatest examples of the Brat Burger in the Midwest is from a place called the Charcoal Inn South in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Sheboygan is the epicenter of bratwurst culture, so much so that they have a multi-day festival called Brat Days, which actually was canceled for 12 years due to excessive rowdiness. Yeah.
Now that's awesome. Excessive rowdiness at the Brat Festival. I got to go to that. I got to be there. They canceled it for 12 years because people got too rowdy. I got to put that on my list for sure.
Excessive rowdiness, bratwursts, and beers. Sign me up. The
Exactly.
burger's very simple. All it is a burger patty cooked on a flame grill.
Just keeping it simple. He's got the burger patty on the grill. Salt is the only thing he's added to it. That's pretty much all you need. Pepper makes it great as well. Garlic if you want to boost up the flavor too. But the simple burger is the absolute best because the charcoal is going to give it that great char and flavor that you're looking for. Yeah, see, I may have to do burgers this weekend.
It's a hamburger with a grilled bratwurst on top of it. It goes onto a locally made hard roll and is served with nothing more than pickles, raw onion rings, mustard, and a big wad of soft Wisconsin butter.
The butter thing is going to be interesting, so I'm very curious to see how he pulls this off. And he said not just a little piece of butter, but a heap of butter, so we'll see.
That's living. Are you ready for some grilling secrets? Use a charcoal grill. If you're grilling with propane, that's like driving an automatic car. You're like, doo-doo-doo, not really paying attention. You open the grill, you put the thing in there, you cook it, you go to dinner. So what? Okay, if you're grilling with charcoal, it's more like driving a stick shift. You're actually in there, you're right in the engine, and you're moving stuff around and making it happen. You're adjusting things, and you want it to be hotter, so you do this. You want it to be cooler, you do that. That's grilling. There's a charcoal method lighting that people who are tried and true outdoor grillers know, and that's the chimney method, okay?
Very underrated tool for grilling. Those chimneys are lifesavers. They speed up the process of lighting coals. So if you're the type, you just throw the coals in the grill and you light it with paper or one of the tumbleweed, even the wax cubes, those as well. It'll take quite a bit of time for that fire to spread across those coals. So what they've done with the chimney is allowed a section of air underneath the coal so that it actually acts as a blowtorch on the charcoals and heats it from the bottom up. And it heats up very quickly. So if you don't have one, you got to get one. I highly recommend it. Great piece of information. Never use charcoal lighter fluid. because the reason why people have been using it for years, but it's a quick way to get the charcoal lit. But the smell of those fumes will make their way into the meat. So you definitely want to try to stay away from that.
Charcoal chimney. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got a bratwurst for you.
Oh, man. He is getting smoked out right there. So that's another thing. When you light those chimneys, it's like a chimney in a house. You don't want to stand above it or next to it because you will get a hefty dose of smoke, and it is pretty toxic. Uh-oh. Look at that face. See, that's the face right there of a true burger guru. He's ready to get down on those coals. I've had that face plenty of times myself.
Okay, before we get started, you need to understand my 5 commandments of grilling.
Here we go.
Number 1, put the beer down. For the 15 minutes it takes to make burger magic, you need to focus. Focus! Number 2, create zones on your grill by pouring the charcoal onto one side only. That way you create a cool zone. You can slide your cooked burgers over to the cool zone so they don't burn.
Huge bit of info there. Aside from the beer, you definitely want to put your beer down, unfortunately. But having cool zones in the grill is huge. That gives you time to save a burger. If a burger's burning or if there's a flare up, you've got a place to move that burger to where it's going to be safe for a while. So that's definitely something you must learn if you're grilling. It leads into indirect cooking, but we'll talk about that in another video.
You guys know what I do. I use a food ring and form a patty inside the ring on a
I got to throw a flag on this one. Where's the ref? We got to get a replay of this one. I don't recommend using the rings. You can apply that money elsewhere on grill equipment.
Number 3, don't get fancy with your patties. Keep it simple. People add ice cubes sometimes. Ice cubes? What the fuck? No, don't put ice cubes in your burger. Why do you want water in your burger? Do not put ice cubes in your burger.
I've
Some
seen
people
that.
put butter in a burger, but that's only a cheat to hide the fact they're using lean beef. Use fatty beef, and they split it down the middle. Casing comes off, goes onto the fire. Patty goes on next to that.
Now, one thing I'm noticing here, that's a pretty hot flame he's got going on right there, and it's pretty close. So he's going to have to keep an eye on this, or it's going to burn.
Some salt on there, and you're looking for a brat burger. It's going to be served on a fairly hard Kaiser roll.
Wait a minute. Did that bun just make that sound?
Number 4, hot and fast. You want to have a nice hot grill so you can sear that patty and lock in that fat. People ask me this question all.
I wonder if he's going to talk about that. He's holding one of those. I can't remember what the tool is called, but you use it when you're laying brick and mortar. There's a name for that tool. I'll have to find out what that name is. But those are the best burger flippers that you can get. They make burger flippers that aren't quite as good, but that has a nice sharp edge to it and is very thin, so you can get under there and you can scrape the burger from the either the flat top or the grill really easily with those things. It's kind of short though. His fire is very hot and that tool handle is very short. So he's definitely going to burn himself somehow.
All the time. It's one of the oldest questions about grilling. When do you flip a burger? A friend of mine at Certified Angus Beef once told me, you flip it when it's ready to flip. I asked him what that means. He said, the burger will speak to you. I said, okay, now this is getting even weirder. What do I do next? He said, you should look at the burger.
I like this. Become one with the burger.
The burger starts to develop liquid on the top of the patty. That's how you know it's ready to flip. And the patty, oh shit.
Ooh, yeah. Did you see that flame up? That got right. He probably singed his little sweater. Why he's wearing a sweater doing that, I have no idea.
That was hot, very hot. Now, if it's too hot, this looks pretty good.
Gotta get a close up of that burger.
You close the grill. It'll slow it down. Actually, closing the grill does help. What's happening in here now is you have airborne carbonic compounds. The fat is rendering from the burger, dropping onto the fire, and then igniting, exploding. Those little mini explosions are happening there right now.
Now, I hope they show a close-up of the burger because it did get a little too charred too fast. So he's got to look out for that. But he's right. If you have a flame up, closing the lid is going to choke the flame off, and that'll reduce that flame up that you saw. It'll reduce it. He didn't leave it closed long enough because, as you can see, we've got some flame happening here. It won't choke it off entirely. It'll reduce if it's a super high flame, it'll reduce it significantly. So it's just, you've got to keep it on there a little bit longer than he did and expect a lot of smoke.
Oh, ow, shit.
This guy.
And when you reach your hand into a grill, if it's hot, it will burn your hand.
Don't do that.
Like that.
What is he doing? See, I think I've seen some of his other videos, and I think he's used to cooking on a flat top inside, not outside. It's a totally different experience. You do not put your hands inside of the hot grill like that. You will get burned, and he's done it several times here.
See that? Number 5, and one of the most important rules of all, don't ever press down on that patty once you flipped it.
Facts.
If you do that, you will literally kill your burger.
He's putting me in the mind state of watching like a hipster cooking a burger in his backyard. Nothing against hipsters. If you're a hipster, I apologize. Nothing against hipsters, but I don't want to learn how to cook a burger from a hipster in his backyard who's dressed like a gnome. I just don't want to do that.
This looks kind of perfect, actually, right there. And don't forget, when you take it off the grill, it's going to continue to cook like a steak. So I'm going to pull it off to the cool side over here. Take a look at my bratwurst. That bratwurst looks money.
It looks good.
That's perfect. It's so good. So let's prep the bun. Let's get the burger off of here. That's ready.
Here we go.
Onto the bun. On top of that, we're going to put the bratwurst.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't put butter on the bun to have like toasted buns there, but oh yeah, the brat looks good. So he's got the burger with the brat on top. I'm trying to imagine what that flavor profile would be like. I'm definitely going to have to try this.
Bratwurst on the bun. Chow! Top of that, pickles, onions. We've got some mustard on the top of the bun.
Not a fan.
One last most important part is soft Wisconsin butter.
Oh,
so,
this guy's...
Yep. That's amazing. Put it on the bun.
Yeah. He should have put the butter on the bun before he slapped it on the grill so that it could melt a little bit. Because you can see on the right side of the screen, there's a huge chunk of butter that's just sticking out of that burger. So when he bites that section, half of the bite's going to be butter. That will not taste that great.
Bratwurst burger with the works. Look at that thing.
Okay, interesting. So he's cooked it a little too quickly for me. It's I'd be worried about the inside, even though I mean it could be a rare burger. If he cooked it too fast, the outside's going to get done a little too quickly. So you can't put it on that hot of a fire. But he's got some decent char on there. The brat looks good. I would love to taste that. I can imagine the pickles and the onions and the brat and the beef. That's a very interesting combination. The laugh. What's
Oh, fuck yeah. And the butter.
Look at him.
Wow.
He likes that.
Wisconsin. Really. Thank you, Wisconsin. Thank you for this glorious burger. Thank you. I'll see you next time when hopefully I won't need an Icelandic itchy wool sweater to make you a burger.
Very interesting idea with the brat and the burger and the pickles and the onions, mustard. I'm on the fence about that, and the butter. I'm definitely going to try it. I'm very interested to see what those flavors taste like together. Well, I'm going to wrap things up right here, guys. It's been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, for sharing some of your time with me. Next Friday, join me back here again for another episode of Big Time Foodie Friday. And until then, have a fantastic weekend. Take care of each other. Much love to you guys. See you next time. Later.
Big